If you've fallen in love with some of our Stitching Cosmos quilts and all those wonderful decorative stitches, I'm going to show you on the Bernina 790 some of my tips that I shared during that course about adjusting stitches to accommodate different kinds of thread, also expanding on what they already are and look like built in at their default settings. We are in the stitches, the 400 stitches, and that has a lot of stitches that are dense. But how does the machine know what thickness of thread we're using? So let's start. Let's just take a look at this stitch. You see that is the default setting, no changes whatsoever. But if we were using a thinner thread, that stitch is not going to fill in as much as if I was using a thicker thread. So go into the eye and let's play in this area here. This is our pattern extend and stitch density area. So there's actually two things we're doing in this area. And if you just watch right here on screen, you'll see what is going on with that stitch. So first off, pattern extend, something I loved and have loved on Berninas for years, but it's usually just like extend it 2 times or extend it 3 times. And here we have multiple choices of extensions. So what we're doing is we're actually extending. We can do the plus or we can even make it go a little longer. Give it a second. Notice it took just a second to regenerate that stitch. So we took the same stitch and now it is almost twice as long, but the density is still the same. So it's adding twice as many stitches, making that pattern even longer. So once again, if we wanted to, I know we can't see the whole thing, but you're seeing how that stitch has become very smooth wave instead of a more compact decorative stitch that looks like a wave. A quick way to reset, don't forget, touch the box that has the yellow around it, and we'll bring it back to the instant default setting. So that's one way you can do it. The other way is to change how close those stitches appear, and that's with the density area. So if we make this minus, watch the screen. You're seeing that that stitch is getting heavier and thicker on screen. So if you are using some thinner thread, you adjust the density. But did you notice that the pattern itself did not change length? It's not like adjusting the stitch length, which would actually change like how close the stitch would be, and then it shortens and makes the stitch really short and squatty. This is actually changing how many stitches it takes to create that actual decorative stitch. So I do use this a lot because I love using embroidery thread in our Stitching Cosmos courses, but it's a little thinner. So to beef up my stitches to look really bold, think of that as a way to think of density, boldening up your stitch. I do this a lot. Make those really stand out. And then definitely utilize your foot number 20. Foot number 20 has that groove underneath, so those stitches flow through, and even though they're really thick now, they don't get cut as they go out the back. So that's the foot that I do a lot of my decorative stitches with. So try those out, and then again, even try out some different versions of that stitch. How about for fun, let's just come back and we'll do this with, let's do the watermelon seed. So we're just going to clear out anything. There's what it looks like normal. Touch the eye, go into the pattern extend and density screen. And then again, we could make longer watermelon seeds. Watch as it fills it in. And then also, if my thread was a little thinner, definitely make more stitches to fill it in. Opposite, if you have a thicker thread, and there are thicker threads out there, too thick a thread will actually make those stitches not stitch out. They'll pile up. So sometimes we have to go the opposite way. And this machine is got all these settings so you can get the right look for the thread that you're using. So if you haven't already, check out our Bernina Stitching Cosmos online course. There are 10 videos you can watch for free, and there's links below this YouTube video to get you started.